Hey crew, it's Pitt, and I'm back with the most important question already. Am I the bunghole? Let's dive in and see what today's question is. Am I the bunghole for not telling my wife where her son has been hiding? I keep my comments until the end. Just for clarification, I have been with my wife for 5 years, married for 4.5. I have a daughter, we have 2 kids together, and she has Leo, a 16-year-old man, who she was adamant that I would not parent when we got together. I was fine with that since his dad was still in his life. Leo and his mother don't get on, never have. Arguments happen often and he tries to ignore her. It's just him, none of our other kids. I've tried to talk to her about it and she says that he's not my son. 2 years ago, I had to get my daughter's toy from the roof of our house and found him sat up there in a spot you could not see from the ground listening to music and reading a book. He looked scared when I saw him. I just gave him a smile, threw the toy down to my daughter. A couple days later, we're the only ones home. He came to talk to me about it. I told him that I get why he needs some time to himself. What he is doing will not damage the roof, and there's no way for him to fall off the roof where he sits or the path that he takes to get there, out his window. But also, it's not like he's sneaking up there to drink or smoke. Plus, my wife has said not to parent him, so I don't have any issue with it and won't say anything. I did say something to him when I noticed he started bringing a boy up there. I just told him to make sure he is quiet when talking, not to do anything stupid. There have been times where his mother needed him, couldn't find him, and would just assume he was out. But I knew he wasn't, but again, I didn't say anything. Fast forward to now about a week ago. My wife installed a tracker app on all our kids' phones due to it getting darker in the afternoon when they are out. Plus, one of her friends recently did the same with her kids. Well, today she was looking for Leo and couldn't find him. Assuming he was out, she checked his location. He was in the house, so she started searching and yelling for him. He heard and quickly climbed down the outside of the house to the drive. Then he walks to the house and pretends that he was just out with some friends and got back, and that I knew he was out. I cover for him sometimes. Well, even though it is actually completely plausible that it would show his location as in the house if he was just walking up to it, she wasn't convinced and came to me demanding to know where Leo. I said that he told me that he had been out with friends, but I just saw him walk up the driveway. Both true. She clearly wasn't happy about my answer and has been threatening more surveillance and grounding Leo. She's also saying I'm the bunghole for not telling her. I don't think I was in the wrong, but after thinking it over, while I was just trying to look out for Leo, did I overstep her boundaries as a parent? Also, am I the bunghole? Okay, first off, getting into a marriage with somebody who already has children is a very complicated situation, and nobody has a one-size-fits-all. But to live in a house with a teenage boy that you cannot discipline is foolish. Extremely foolish. If she trusts you enough to marry you and have children with you, then she should trust you enough to be able to discipline the child, as long as you are not harsh or overbearing in that role. That is not to say step into the role of the father, because that's not what you're doing. You're stepping into the role of the step-parent who steps up and takes care of discipline in the house. So right off the top, there is a severe red flag in this relationship from the start. The fact that she would say you don't get to parent him is bad. That is an automatic red flag. You should see that no matter who you are. The second thing is that you're holding secrets from your wife. That is a bad thing. You should be able to talk to your wife. She should be able to understand why he needs a place to be able to get out and that he's safe and that you've already determined that it's safe. And so she should be able to trust your judgment in this situation. But you feel that you can't tell her because she doesn't trust your judgment in this situation. If she trusted your judgment in this situation, she would have trusted you to be able to parent the child. Your wife doesn't trust you to be able to do what is necessary to get things done. It seems like you have younger kids. You didn't mention how old your daughter, I'm assuming, with another relationship is, but you have 2 kids together. You've only been together for 5 years, so they have to be young kids. And she's not trusting you at all. I don't know if there's maybe an age gap between y'all, but she's not trusting you at all to step up as a man in this situation. So you're being disrespected. That's just a fact. And you're disrespecting her. So there's no respect. There's no mutual respect. The relationship is based on the fallacy to begin with. If there's no honesty, the relationship is based on a lie. If you have to hide things or not tell things, then the relationship is based on a lie. If you have to hide it, you're probably doing something wrong. You knew that she wanted to know this information. She's showing some very unhealthy levels of surveillance here. Now, if he's not sneaking out to drink or smoke in his safe place that he thought he wasn't going to get caught in, then he's probably not drinking or smoking. Now, maybe he's feeling some kind of way because of the boy he brought up there, and there might be some other issue there that we're not privy to here, but I don't get into caring about somebody's sexual preferences. But some people do, and maybe he's feeling that maybe that is an issue with his mom. I don't know the situation, but that seems like that might be something. And if that is something, then that is the whole root of him withdrawing. That is the whole root of him going find the hidey hole. So maybe that issue needs to be addressed. I am not by any means saying to out anyone ever, but maybe you, who have shown yourself to be trustworthy, can talk to him in a manner that maybe he can be honest with you. And if they can be honest with one person who is personal in his life, it becomes easier to become honest with other people who are personal in your life. So maybe you can be the safe space in this situation. But regardless, you are the bunghole for hiding his location from your wife. Period. That is the child in the situation, and the child does not get to make the major decisions about their own life. There's some trust issues. Your wife has some red flags that have been thrown, like the not wanting to parent. That's a big red flag. If you get into a relationship with a single mother and she goes into it saying you can't parent the child, get out of that. Get out now before there is too much emotional investment. Because I'm not telling you to take over the dad's role, but a child, especially a boy, needs discipline. And if he doesn't have that discipline coming from the male figure in that house, and there is a male figure in that house, then he is going to run shit. And that's just how that's going to work. So if you cannot discipline, either way, if you're a woman getting into a relationship or a man getting into a relationship, and that parent's like, you keep your hands off of this, get out of the relationship. It's not worth it, ever. It is what it is. Oh, but also the threatening more surveillance, the putting the tracking app on the phone. Those are also major red flags for me. I know a lot of people do it. I don't. I don't need, nor want, nor even consider having to train my children in that way. The way that I dealt with my children was being honest with them about things and making sure that they knew they were safe to talk to me about anything from the time that they were infants to the time that they are now grown. And so I've never had to have that situation. I've never been in that situation. But I can tell you someone else that was close to me's situation who, as a young adult at 15, I believe he was 15, he might have been 14, ran away and took off and was hiding. And the mother of that child, her mother, knew where he was and hid him from her, and it caused great division, even though the hiding was probably the best thing that could have happened. Those two women, the mother and the grandmother there, didn't reconcile, even though things became permanent. And the grandmother wasn't necessarily in the wrong in the situation for hiding that, but that was a harmful situation. That was there is imminent danger type of situation. And that is the only time of situation that you're allowed to keep anything from anyone like that. Like, you can't keep things from your spouse. You can't. You shouldn't keep things from your children. I understand that there are things that are outside the scope of what a children is responsible for. But if they have questions, you should be open and honest with them about it. Treat them like young adults. Treat them like you're molding them into who you want them to be. Be honest with them. They can be honest with you. Have a firm foundation of love. It seems like the son here can trust you some. And because he can trust you some, you need to leverage that. I know you said you wouldn't parent, and okay, don't parent, be a friend. But the situation is bad. Like that, the lack of trust shown here is bad. Y'all need to work on that. I suggest couples care therapy at a minimum. Like, y'all should definitely learn how to communicate with each other. All right, before this gets too very long, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Hopefully I brought a little bit of enlightenment and not too much confusion. There were two bungholes in the situation, and hopefully it can be rectified. To the crew, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate every single minute that you are here with me, and I am praying for you every single day. Sorry I rambled a little bit on this one. It's the first one of the day. I had a couple days off, and it builds up inside me, so I got to get it out. But thanks for hanging out. I really do appreciate every single minute that you're here with me. And I am praying for you every single day, even when I'm not here. Until next time, I love you. You are perfect, whole, and complete, just the way that you are. This has been Pittstake. Peace.